Hey fam, welcome to Babbling Tat. As always, I want to start off by saying thank you for being here. Wherever you are and whatever you're doing right now, thank you for choosing to spend this time with me today. If you're tuning in the day this episode drops, it's the last day of 2024. Happy New Year's. I want to say that I am so proud of you for pushing forward through every sunrise and every sunset this year, no matter how high the high or how low the low. And if you're tuning in on any other day, I'm proud of you too. This year has been full of growth, change, plenty of messes along the way. That's part of what makes it all beautiful in the hindsight. As we prepare to step into 2025, I want to talk about watering your seeds. The seeds you've planted this year, your dreams, your growth, your healing, deserve all the care, attention, and love as we move into this next chapter. So let's talk about how we can nurture those seeds, grow them into something amazing, and step into 2025 and beyond with intention, grace, and a little bit of hope. First things first, though, and I want you to hear me loud and clear when I say this. You are not the only one with a mess. You hear me? You are not the only one with a mess. All right? Got it locked? Don't you forget it. 2024 may have brought some chaos, but it's not about how together your life looks. And let's be real, nobody real actually has it all together. It's about how you show up every single day, adapting to what's going on in front of you, around you, and within you, messy or not. I feel like we forget that real life is messy and that that's okay. Your worth is not tied to how put together you are. You are worthy is a fact, not an equation and not a leveling scale that needs to be balanced. So as you look back on this year, don't just focus on the mess. Give yourself permission to look at, acknowledge, and give yourself credit for how far you've come, what you've learned, and the seeds of growth that you've planted along the way. Here's something I want you to carry with you into 2025. Be loyal to your mess, not to your environment. Sometimes we focus so much on the chaos around us that we forget to tend to what's happening within us. Or we try to avoid the mess within us, so we focus on what's happening around us to distract ourselves instead. Regardless of why we put our internal mess to the side, it still ends the same, with a festering, growing mess running rampant within us. Instead of feeling ashamed for having a mess, we need to remember that our mess is part of our story. Every person has a mess in their story, and that's okay. It does not make you any less of a person for having a mess. It's our testimony, and it's shaping us into someone who can weather the storms of life. As you move into the new year, acknowledge your mess. Be proud of it. It's proof that you've been growing, proof that you are resilient, proof of your courage and bravery to keep going, proof that your survival rate, regardless of the mess, is still up at 100%. And on the other side of this, you'll look back and be able to find the beauty in the mess and how it's transformed you. Something I've continued to learn, mess and mess again, is that without them, without the messes and the lessons that they bring, I wouldn't be who I am today, and that certain things wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the mess itself. That within the mess, that's when we really learn what we're made of and who we really are. That no matter how weak and broken we may feel during the mess, it's actually when we show our true bravery and our courage. While the new year is a perfect opportunity to reflect on what you believe and where you need to grow, you do not need first of the year, first of the month, or a Monday, or the first of anything to decide to reflect and do things differently moving forward. You're given that choice every single day. And it doesn't matter how many times you fall down, only that you continue to get back up time and time again. Now, take a moment and ask yourself, what beliefs have been holding you back? What parts of you do you want to transform? What pieces of you do you need to love more? It's okay if you don't know the answers right now. These can be really deep questions, and if you're like me, it leads to quite a hefty internal conversation with yourself. But let's make it our goal to get a clearer vision of it in 2025. I want you to remember and more embody this. No one has permission to tell you what to believe. No one. This is your journey, not theirs. You get to decide what's right for you, what works for you, where you need to heal, and where you need to stretch, spread your wings, and fly. I want us to make a promise to ourselves for 2025, to stop shrinking so others can be comfortable. If you're with me on this, comment "I promise to stop shrinking so others can be comfortable" down below. I'll randomly select a subscriber from the YouTube comments to send them a Pinky Promise Project bundle. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, and make your promise in the comments on YouTube to be entered to win. It's time to stop dimming your light to make others feel better. You're here to shine. You're here to grow and to take up space. You've got the seeds inside you that are just waiting to bloom. But that can't happen if you keep holding them back and you don't give them the space they need to bloom. Allow yourself to take up that space. So as we enter 2025, let's commit to watering those seeds every single day, even if it feels small, even if it feels messy. Just keep going. Consistency, adaptability, and patience are what will turn those seeds into something beautiful, no matter what the mess. But let's also remember this: rest and stillness are just as important as growth. I know, we all want to crush our goals and make 2025 the year we do it all and yeah, it's my year, woo, the usual. But remember, growth doesn't always happen in the hustle. Sometimes it happens in the pause, in the stillness, in the setting boundaries with yourself, which is much easier said than done. But there is no award for Burnout Champion of the Year. You do not need to earn your rest either. How much rest you give yourself is not determined by your productivity at all. It is okay to take a pause, to be still, and allow yourself to truly rest and recharge. You aren't at your best when your battery's been on its last 2% for days, weeks, or months on end. To do your best and to be your best, you must rest. Allow yourself to be human in 2025. Give yourself permission to rest, permission to breathe, permission to take up space, permission to just be. As we close out 2024, let's leave the need to outperform our past well behind us. This year, let's make a promise to ourselves, not to be better than we were yesterday, but to be better than we were last year. 2025 is not about competing with our past. It's about embracing who we are today, acknowledging who we've been, and stepping into the next chapter of our story. Stop trying to outperform your past and start focusing on nurturing the future that you want to create, because you do create your own reality. Shift your perspective and come at it from a place of love for your future self, not from a place of hatred for your previous self. Your seeds are already planted, and now it's time to water them with love, care, and belief in the possibility of what's to come, even if sometimes it's unseen. As we count down to midnight and say goodbye and a good riddance to 2024, let's take some time to reflect on the seeds we've planted this year and the growth that we've experienced. Celebrate it, even if it was messy. So, what are those seeds that you're carrying into 2025 with you? What do you want to nurture, to grow, to bloom? Claim it, manifest it, acknowledge it, make it your reality, and give it space to bloom. 2025 is going to be a year of transformation, of growth and leaps, big and small, as your best days are still ahead of you, through every sunrise and every sunset. I want to thank you for being a part of my 2024, no matter what my mess was. From my first time speaking at WonderCon, to losing my dog to cancer, to finally making Babbling Tat real, and everything in between. This year was truly full of highs and lows and the messes that came with them, because yes, sometimes the highs are messy too. Honestly though, launching this podcast started to seem like a long lost seed, maybe even just a bad one. But now I think it just needed a little bit more time before sprouting. That I needed a little bit more time before sprouting. And I think that's an important nugget that we need to hold on to. That there's no timetable or timeline that you are racing towards. That great things take time. That greatness itself takes time. And that also, you can't be great without the greatness of others. And there are many who have shared their greatness with me, knowingly or not, whether it be in real life or a book or a podcast or their content. And that has allowed me to take up the space of where I am today and step into my greatness more and more each day. Give yourself permission to take the time and the space you need to grow and water your seeds. Give yourself permission to accept help from others in watering and growing those seeds too. I want to thank you for showing up for yourself this year, especially on the hard days. While I do hope your good days outweighed the bad ones. I am so proud of you for pushing forward through every sunrise and every sunset, no matter how high the high or how low the low, no matter how badly you didn't want to, or if sometimes you had absolutely no idea how you would. It's really, really brave of you. So please do not sell yourself short on surviving. I am forever grateful for this community, and I cannot wait to see what we go after this year. I believe in all of us to do anything we put our minds to. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today, and for the time you spent with me in the show in just these first few weeks. It means more to me than you'll ever know. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world to me if you shared it with a friend or shared it on your socials and tagged me in the show. Drop a comment with your promise or to let me know what connected with you the most. I'd love to hear from you and what you'd like to hear next. And if you haven't yet, I'd really appreciate it if you left a review for the show. Connect with the podcast directly on Instagram at Babbling Tat Podcast or connect with me at xxtatqueenxx. You can also visit the website, tatscorner.com, for more resources, info about the Pinky Promise Project, to shop some merch, read the blog, or just stay connected. The link is down in the description. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, drop your promise if you want to win a little bundle. Thank you again for tuning in. Happy New Year. Stay safe, stay weird, stay wonderful, and stay here. And I'll catch you in 2025.